Hi guys, and welcome to Madness 358's channel. And today I'm going to talk about keeping koi's in fish tanks. I have been asked by many to do this video, however I was reluctant because of the fact that I might encourage people to keep koi in smaller than normal tanks. But then I realised if I was to convey it properly with the right information about the pros and cons, it should be okay. To start off with, koi are truly pond fish. Their potential size means they require very large aquatic systems, whether natural or not, to grow. And what we are basically talking about is a tank buster if we were to keep them in fish tanks. Firstly, one of the advantages of keeping them in tanks is that in a pond you can't really view them properly other than from top up, and especially if your water's relatively dark or green, as in the case here. In such a case, most people would try to feed them with floating pellets so that they can visualize them and watch them from above. The second thing is that if you live in very cold environments, keeping koi in ponds is probably not the best idea as well, as koi will try to survive more than anything else, even though this is the fact that they are considered cold water fish. Having said that, it's man's achievements in spite of nature and in the face of the impossible that makes us great, and it's because of this that we can really keep koi's in fish tanks. There are some provisos. Having said that, keeping koi in fish tanks is possible provided you keep them in a very large tank and keep their population to a minimum. And when I mean by population to a minimum, I mean the bioload based on the mass of the koi, total mass of the koi in the tank. Most people will base fish size on the fish length, which includes the tail as well, which is total fish length. And the problem with that is that it is not a really accurate way of measuring the fish. A more accurate way of measuring the fish would be by its mass, because mass will help determine your bioload on your fish tank, which is very important for such a small system compared to, say, ponds. When I talk about mass of the fish, we're not talking about the length, and people get confused between the two. And I'm just going to show you a little exercise to show you what I really mean. To keep it simple, let's say this timber block represents a 20 centimeter fish. A 40 centimeter fish would be double that length, so I'm going to add another block. However, it is also taller, so I'm going to add another 2 blocks on top. But yet again, it's also wider, which means 4 more blocks. Basically, as you can see, a 40 centimeter koi is basically 8 times the mass of a 20 centimeter fish, and it's really not twice the size as many people would assume. What this means is that if you replace 8 20 centimeter koi with 2 40 centimeter koi in the same tank, your bioload will still have increased, even though the number of koi's you are now keeping is reduced. So what it means is that you really need to rethink your stocking levels in a fish tank. Even though koi tend to be kept in schools, you may want to consider keeping as few as possible. In my tank, a 260 gallon tank, I would only try to go between 4 and 5 koi and no more. Water changes would be fortnightly for me. In a smaller 180 gallon tank, I would stick to around about 3 and probably no more. And notice that I didn't mention size. This is because you should stock only small koi and let it grow into the tank and let it get used to its environment, as large adults can easily get frightened and be very jumpy. Well guys, that's it. I hope you liked my video. This is the first part. The next part will come up hopefully soon, and it's going to be about trying to sex koi's, which can be hard, and also what fish you can keep in the fish tank, if any, being so large anyway. Thanks.